and I will go through the roll. I myself, Jazz Billich, Dorothy Red,
Present.
Jane Crosby,
Present.
Angela Fellers, looks like she's still not on yet. Brad Limbark,
Present.
Tim Neighbors,
Present.
and Fred Westcott.
Present.
All right, with that, moving on, I'm looking for a motion for the approval of minutes for the April 12th, 2021 Economic Development Committee.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Moved by Ms. Crosby, second by Mr. Limbark. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Seeing no opposition, that passed unanimously. Moving on to public comment. I don't believe anybody signed up, correct, Chris?
That is correct. Nobody signed up to my knowledge.
With no public comment, we will skip that section and go to item E, which is a resolution authorizing execution of a redevelopment agreement with the Village of Pecatonica for a $525,000 host fee loan pursuant to the Economic Development Business Incentive and Host Fee Program policy. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Mr. Westcott, second by Ms. Crosby. Mr. Dornbush, if you'd like to give us a description, and then you can have Bernie or anybody else come in to fill us in on what this project's about.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this is the first loan that has come through before us. Back in 2019, we wanted to revisit our host fee program. So we created a program for host fees that we would loan out to a community and they would repay us back. The loan period for the county to loan out to a municipality was set at a max of 5 years to pay out. It felt like that wouldn't be too long of a period with the realization of some of our other long-term commitments. And then the community could pay back to the county over a maximum of 20 years. In this case, the Village of Pecatonica is requesting $525,000. We came to the terms of paying it out over 5 years. So it would be the county max. The first year, which would be this year, would be $125,000. And then the next 4 years thereafter would be $100,000 back. So it would be the 525. And then the Village of Pecatonica would pay back to the county for 15 years, $35,000. As part of that, while they start paying us back, this project is looking to develop approximately 13 acres of a 13-acre tract on the south end of the Village of Pecatonica. It's a multi-faceted development. They have a restaurant. They're looking at a retail store component, gas station, dental office, a couple health clubs. They have some other things in the works, but that's what they're looking at. So it's not, for instance, historically, sometimes we have done a big sum of this for Sunstrand. We gave them $500,000. This is a lot of different businesses. The village has already put in approximately $900,000, and those numbers might be lower now, but they've already increased the infrastructure out there with some water lines, water mains, sewer upgrades, and some other improvement. The county's money is looking towards helping with some of the interior roads of the project as gap financing to just help them kind of cap it off there. It's a pretty sizable, but looking at the numbers, it would generate an increased EAV for the county as well as Pecatonica, generate new sales tax dollars, and it would also create some jobs out there too. The sales dollars estimated, which I would say are probably conservative. If you do $1 million of sales tax, $1 million of sales, it would generate about $77,500 of sales tax, new generated sales tax dollars. Of that, the county would get about $17,500 from just the sales tax a year, which $1 million of sales sounds like a lot, but it's about $20,000 a week, which is about $2,700 a day, and it's a specific retail store that would find that pretty feasible, and those are conservative numbers, not to mention the gas station and some other components to that. In short, that's a brief summary. Bernie is the treasurer for the Village of Pecatonica. He's on the call. If you'd like, if Bernie, if the chairman is okay with it, if you'd like to give a little bit overview and maybe go a little bit more in depth of it. And it appears that Mrs. Fellers popped on to Mr.
I was just going to say, right before we pass it over to Bernie, I just wanted to note that Ms. Fellers has joined the meeting. And yeah, Mr. Bernie, if you could just give us a brief oversight of how beneficial this is going to be for the Pecatonica township and area, and how it's going to benefit you guys, that'd be great.
Okay, yes, do you see me by chance? I don't think you do you?
No.
Does that make it there,
There.
coming through? All right. Hi, you got my, yes, this development is on the, between here and US 20. We have looked at this property. We do have a little over $1 million currently invested in it today. We have some potential contracts on the horizon and very close on the horizon from what I understand. Our village president was going to zoom in as well, but he's in construction and I think he got rained out. So he might be joining shortly too as well. He knows what is actually going on as it relates to the negotiations. Other than that, I think Chris has done a very good job of summarizing what we've got ongoing.
All right, perfect. And this is going to be in between the village and 20 area, correct?
That is correct.
And I'll open it up to questions from the committee. Is there any board members that would like to ask a question? Is there any comments from the committee? All right. Well, Bernie, thank you for the description on that project, and Mr. Dornbush, thank you so much for giving us that description of that project. Did a very good job. And one thing I did want to mention is this is one of those goals that we discussed as a committee a long time ago about trying to direct more development along the 20 corridor and capitalizing on developing the 20 corridor moving westward. So that way it's actually going to entice other businesses to move into the area. So I want to actually thank the village of Pecatonica for doing such a good job and working on creating more expansion in that corridor. So thank you guys very much on that. All right, with that, I'm actually looking for a vote. I'll go ahead and I'll do a roll call vote for this one. Ms. Red,
Yes.
Ms. Crosby,
Yes.
Ms. Fellers,
Yes.
Mr. Lindmark,
Yes.
Mr. Neighbors,
Yes.
and Mr. Westcott.
Yes.
And I myself as a yes. That passes unanimously favorable to the board. With that, moving on to our next matter of business, which is other matters. Is there any other matters that the committee has to discuss? Mr. Dornbush, any other updates or anything? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Neighbors, you had your hand up. Go ahead.
Just gonna ask Mr. Dornbush if he have an update on what the chairman found for Booker Washington Community Center.
Mr. Chairman, may I?
Yeah, Mr. Dornbush, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have not got a further update. I know administration is just waiting to hear a little bit more clarification on the American Relief Program. And in doing so, then they're hoping to be able to move forward with that. But I can follow back up with the chairman on that.
Actually, and I will mention that me and Ms. Red actually did meet with the chairman in regards to these upcoming projects and what timeline looking wise as well. With these funds coming in, there's a lot more that it's going to be affecting, so that way we can actually spread it out a little bit better and make sure that we save the host fees for using it within the county for certain things. Maybe this is a project that we put it on host fees, but we want to see what we can actually cover with those funds coming in as well. Go ahead, Mr. Neighbors.
So is the American Relief project, is that the 54 million coming for the COVID relief?
Yes,
And so we're still waiting to see what guidelines on how we can spend that money?
yes.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, any other questions from the board or any other matters that the committee would like to bring up? All right, Mr. Dornbush, anything else for updates?
That's it for right now.
Okay, with that, I'm looking for a motion for adjournment.
So move.
I move.
Motion by Mr. Westcott, second by Mr. Neighbors. All those in favor, signify by saying
Aye.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Great job, guys. Have a great evening.
You too. Take care.